So I want to talk about how um being like having physical illness makes you more vulnerable to narcissists. They like to prey on people who are sick, like who actually are like they have physical issue like health issues and like the fact that like my family allowed me to go undiagnosed my entire life, so I had to like deal with basically unregulated high blood sugar uh all throughout my childhood and teens and adulthood, early adulthood, and then only getting treatment not that long ago. It it's not, I mean, it's like they did it on purpose. Like I truly feel that like the narcs that, in my family, like my parents, everybody, like they literally did that on purpose so that I would be more dysregulated. Because the thing is, like, when your insulin and blood sugar is unregulated, I don't think people realize this, but it affects your mood. Yes, it can make it, excuse me, it can like make you really depressed. It affects your mood. So emotionally, it causes all kinds of issues. Um, it affects your mood. It affects basically everything in your body, and it's just so damaging, like to have something that's serious going on in your body and not getting treatment. I can't emphasize enough how unmanaged high blood sugar, what it does to your body. I can only barely describe the pain and the suffering I was going through prior to treatment. You guys, it was just years of suffering and pain. And not only from the abuse, the emotional aspects, but also dealing with like these physical issues of just constant pain. And it was just like basically torture. And I don't think either of my narc siblings really had serious health issues like I do. I think maybe the oldest, she had I don't think she had something with her thyroid. I don't know if she's on medication, but I have that too. Hypothyroidism and autoimmune thyroid issues, I mean. So like they didn't really necessarily have to suffer through all this, you know, health trauma like I did, and that really kind of like pisses me off. Like I really honestly wish that both of them got PCOS too. I wish that on them. I wish they would have gotten that too like I did in childhood. I wish that they would have had that to deal with. I wish they would have had all that to deal with like I did. It's scary, you feel out of control of your body, like you really do when you have these things, because a lot of it's, especially with PCOS, a lot of it is hormonal. Literally, it's basically like I can't really break it down into something simple because it's a highly complex illness. It's too complex to really break it down in just a few sentences. But if I have to say it, it's basically like, you know, a severe hormonal imbalance and also like unregulated insulin and blood sugar. That's what it basically is. And by severe hormonal imbalance, I've seen women with PCOS gain like literally 100 to 200 pounds within like a year. Like that's how serious it is. It's horrible. It's horrifying. Um, I had women friends before that had it, and some of them would have out of control periods to where they would just not stop bleeding for like almost an entire month. Like it was scary. it was scary. 'Cause it's all dysregulation. When your hormones are dysregulated and you basically have too much testosterone, you have too many male hormones in your body, and you're not supposed to have that, you know. As women, like, you know, you don't have enough progesterone, you don't have enough you don't have enough, like, you have too many male hormones basically in your body, and it's not good. It's not good because it wreaks havoc on your body, you know, and it causes a million issues. It causes so much stress on the body, like it just like literally destroys your body. So, um, yeah, I mean, having that for so long, you know, it just was like, it's just something that they prey on, you know, that narcissists prey on, knowing you have that, because it makes you more vulnerable, you know. And they prey on any vulnerability. That's what predators do. They look for any vulnerability they think you have, especially like illness, whatever, like, you know, health issues, and they prey on that. Um, you know, I just feel bad for people that are like severely ill or severely disabled, that are like on their last days, or they like um just, yeah, they're so bad to where like narcissists are all around them just like vultures, you know. That and I don't know if that's gonna be what my last days are like. I don't know if I want to think about all that right now, but I do know like it's most likely gonna be like in hopefully somewhere peaceful. But um, I know for damn sure, you guys, I want to die alone. Like that's literally, like, I'm telling you guys right now, and this is like really personal. This is something highly personal, but it's actually like my deepest wish, like my deepest desire to, I literally want to die alone. Like I want to. This is what I want. And I want the people in my life that are close to me to respect that and to like understand that's literally how I want to go. It's like it's my wish. And I just want people to respect that, you know, and so many people don't respect it when women say this, like myself. They literally are like, it's horrible. It's horrible, the stereotypes in society about what women need and want, and they try and force it on us. Like, oh, you'll find the right guy. Like, I'm not trying to do that. I don't, that's not what I want. They like, society does not respect or you know, care what women want and need, because it's all like male centered. Like they don't care about our needs and wants. It's just constant forcing onto us of like, oh, um women are weak and they have to be like paired up or they don't feel completed. Like what the fuck? Like what is this bullshit, right? And it just makes me so angry. But it's like, just, you're just not respected at all just because of your gender. And I was born into this world as this gender, and I know what it's like. I know that I've never gotten respect because of my gender. So like I it's just like like I said, our wants and wishes are just not respected. But that's one thing that I want to be respected. And it might, a lot of people might not understand it, some might, but that's literally my wish. And like I think it's going to be like pretty peaceful to go out, and we all die alone anyway. I mean, like even if we're surrounded by people, right? Like you're still dying alone. You come into this world alone, you die alone. So that's absolutely true, but that's a fact. Um but yeah, going back to like the health thing, like, you know, and that makes your like everything so weak, you know. Like I was like, up until my late 20s, I had to wait until like 27, 28 to finally get medicated, the right medication I needed, right? And only in the last and that was working, but it started to kind of fail. So only in the last, like within less than a year, like the last 6 months, did I get um other, you know, treatment that's like helping too, because you know, these, some of these treatments like don't work after a while, you know, and you have to add more things and all this stuff. So you can't really like yeah, it's just hard to like um it's hard to manage, you know. So yeah, like with something so complex, it's really hard to manage with just like one treatment. You need like multiple treatments. Um, so only like within the last couple years, since like 2023, have like pharmaceutical companies really been coming out with some cutting edge stuff, like for diabetes and all this stuff. Like only in the last couple years. I'm glad it's coming out finally, but you know, when I was younger, we didn't have this, so it's like it's pretty good that finally they're like finally coming out with like something new and like cutting edge and that's actually working. Like that's great. Um but yeah, just to say like that that like you know, going all those years, like basically all my youth, like I mean, I'm not like too old right now, but I'm just saying like I was basically robbed of like my entire childhood, my youth, my 20s, all that. I was robbed of that because I wasn't getting, you know, I was sick basically. And so like finally getting medicated, like I said, treatment in my late 20s, like up until then, I was like sick every day. And um like when you have like go like when your blood sugar is not regulated, like you have high blood sugar, like it literally like you don't have any energy. And that's why I wondered for so many years, I'm like, why is it that every time I eat something, like I pass out right away? Like, and if it's just something small, like I would get like so tired and just sleep for hours after. Well, it's because my body couldn't process any sugar, couldn't process carbs. That's what was happening. And I wondered why I had all these symptoms, you know, basically diabetic symptoms. And for so many years, just undiagnosed because of medical misogyny. Yeah, I'm going to say it. Our medical system, and I know this because I'm a nurse, downplays women's issues. It downplays our pain. It treats us like objects, yes, just like how men treat us like objects. The medical system treats women's bodies and all this is just useless objects. I'm serious. And not worth even conducting research on. We're not worth treating. We're not worth, you know, um, including in studies that are done on men to treat men. That's literally how it is. And there are a lot of our issues are specific to women's health issues are under researched, underfunded compared to studies on men. And I saw this with my own eyes, and it just kind of it really makes me sick. But if we had more funding and research for my health issues, which are specific to women, a lot of the issues I have, then I probably, like I said, I could have got my diagnosis earlier. I could have got treatment earlier and I would have been much healthier. It could have saved me from a lot of pain and a lot more additional health issues that piled on top of the initial one. I could have just been managing one chronic complex illness instead of three or four had I been diagnosed sooner. But I was not only because of my neglectful narc family who didn't give a fuck about me and wanted to see me in pain and wanted to see me suffering, but also this entire system that basically hates women. It's misogynistic, and like I said, it subjugates women. That we're oppressed, we're subjugated. People are like, oh, well, in the West, you know, with the waves of feminism, we're equal now, right? No, the fuck, we're not equal. There's still a huge pay gap, at least here in the U.S. We earn like less than 80 cents to every dollar a man earns. There's still all these inequalities that feminism has not solved yet. So, bullshit, we have equality. And like I'm telling you guys now, what I've experienced personally, even being a medical professional myself, being a nurse, an educated, I have my BSN, that's a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. I'm pretty educated. I passed my nursing, you know, degree, my nursing program. And being even like a health professional, I still got treated this way. I still got treated like shit for being a woman, basically. That's it, that's all. I got treated like shit. I didn't get diagnosed for so many years. I got written off, especially by male doctors who wrote me off and gaslighted me and basically said, "Oh, it's nothing, just because they don't understand women's issues, you know. Even if a lot of them are MDs, they're doctors, they don't care. Like, they do not care about women's issues unless it benefits men. Like, unless it has to do with something that ties in men with their issues, like fertility or having babies or whatever that affects men, they don't care. Like, they don't give a fuck about your health issues. So I that's another thing that like just really disgusted me, you know, being a health professional. And that's another reason I opted out of the whole like having babies thing. I didn't want any parts of it. I was just like disgusted by the whole thing. Like, oh, that's all I am to this system, this entire medical system. I'm just a vessel. Like, all I'm seen is as a walking womb. Like, fuck all of you guys. Like, fuck off. Like, you know, like, I'm gonna go somewhere where I'm valued, and since I value myself, even if other people don't, I don't give a fuck because I value myself, and that's all that matters. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, it's just it's quiet, you know, it's quiet suffering, and it's just like it's not quiet suffering, but it's suffering, and you know, this is overlooked suffering. And so many women, I hear so many stories, they get diagnosed late, right? Some even into their late 30s, late 40s. What the fuck kind of system do we have here? That's, you know, these are very serious fucking health issues that are just like downplayed, right? And just told, oh, it's no big deal. Yes, it's a big fucking deal. And all those years of like unmanaged blood sugar, like, I was very sick and suffering, and had all kinds of horrifying things going on, especially my whole body swelling up, being inflamed. It was very painful. Yeah, all those years. And the only thing that brought relief, you guys, and so many doctors just said, oh, just exercise, you know, eat right, all this stuff, all the bullshit, right? Let me tell you something. None of that shit helps what I have. It, it, you have to be on medication. Pharmaceuticals, strong medication. I'm telling you. That is literally the only thing that has brought me relief from my pain, are these drugs. And that has helped me feel normal. Like, it's helped my body work like normal, right? Now my body works like a normal person's body. Almost. Sort of. Not quite totally, but like almost. And functions like a normal person's body. And this is only after multiple medications. So, that are painful to take every day, shots, everything, injections. So that's the only way. And all the other bullshit you hear, oh, just lose weight. And I heard this from male doctors. Yeah, them specifically, because the doctors that have helped me and the nurses have been women. That's it. So the male doctors have gaslighted and bullshitted me, and just wanted me to suffer, because they're fucking assholes, and they're misogynists, and they don't give a fuck about women, and they want to see us suffer and be in pain. They're sadistic. A lot of them are. So like I said, it's like that video I posted recently of that. He's a biologist in London, Previn Carrion, but he talks about like literally the structure of like the male brain, and he talks about the sadism that's, even if they're not NPD, even if they're not narcissists, a lot of them have sadism toward women specifically. And they don't even have to be a sociopath. That's literally how they're wired. And it's just disturbing. But he does go really deep into male psychology, like the way their brains are structured and how they view women and treat women. It's so disturbing. And this is how I knew I was so intuitive and smart at a young age. And people mistook me as being like weird, you know? But it's like, I just knew this shit from a young age to stay away from dudes, like, and guys. Somehow I just knew it on a deep, you know, intuitive level, to just stay away from them, or I would get hurt and damaged. And not just damaged, but like they would just cause destruction. And literally, this is what this biologist, the psychologist, is talking about in his videos. about how a lot of how men are wired, and it's just like, oh my god, it's like so disturbing, you know, the violent fantasies they all have toward women. And literally he's like, I'm one of them, like I have it too. That's what he said. He's like, I'm not the exception, none of them are the exception. That's why we constantly get the gaslighting, you know. We constantly get the gaslighting. You know, as women we get gaslighted, and we get told to pick better, and we get told all this stuff. You got to choose better. Well, there is no better. There is no better. That's why I choose myself every single time over anyone else. And you know, society gets so angry and says that you hate men when you literally just, all you do is put yourself first and you prioritize yourself, your own needs. If you do that as women in society, you're literally labeled um you're labeled as, like, you know, just being like a bad person, or horrible. Like, what? Like, so I was born into this world to sacrifice myself for, no, 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 that's not my purpose, that's not why I'm here. But we women were told since little girls that we're supposed to self-sacrifice for men and children. No, the fuck we don't. And if we're not, if we don't do it, then we're Jezebels. No, all I'm doing is putting myself first, and that's what men do every single day of their lives. And they're never criticized for it, so why can't I do it? But the second a woman does that and puts herself first and prioritizes herself over any man or children, then she's labeled as selfish, she's labeled as a Jezebel, she's labeled as a man hater, all this stuff. All because I put my needs first. And if my needs mean I don't, you know, date men, I stay away from them, um, that's me meeting my needs. I'm meeting my needs by keeping myself safe from them and protecting myself. And then I'm labeled like a man hater when I'm just talking common sense stuff. And men will come in, and a lot of them will gaslight me and say, well, it's not all of us or whatever. And it's like all the stuff, the bullshit they say to women, right? And it's so tiring. And then you'll hear them in the same breath admit that, yeah, you know, dudes are pretty creepy and dangerous and women should protect themselves from us. They'll say it in the same breath. And why do you think so many dads tell their daughters, yes, it's all men and to stay away from all of them? Why do you think that? Because they know. They fucking know. I never got told that, you guys. I never got told that. Because I had a pick-me-ass narcissist mother who didn't respect herself. I had a, you know, a worthless, deadbeat, you know, broke-ass loser of a father who abandoned the, you know, everybody, and he put himself first. So why can't I put my motherfucking self first and say, fuck everybody else, I'm not doing shit for nobody. I'm going to prioritize myself, my own needs, my own wants, and I come first, right? And somehow that's seen as hurting men or hurting society. It's not. I'm literally minding my own business. I'm making my own money. I'm not bothering anyone. I'm not hurting anyone. I'm not dating. I'm not dealing with people in that capacity. So what's the problem? What's the fucking problem? But I still get a million comments and just constant bullshit, which I ignore most of it. But just saying how I'm, you know, somehow hurting, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing shit. I'm living my life for myself. That's it. And that's not hurting anyone. Despite what anyone says, no, it's not selfish, and no, you're not hurting anyone. What's selfish is what narcs do and borderlines, getting into relationships and doing what they do. We all know what they do. That's selfish. But what I'm doing, not selfish at all. That's normal. It's normal. Given what I've gone through, given what I'm still going through, it's completely normal to be this way, to feel this way. So, anyway, like, yeah, it just sucks, like, you know, all these years with, like I said, feeling sick and then having everybody gaslight you and downplay it when I literally By the time I was in my late 20s, I got blood work done from a nurse. She was really great. She's a nurse practitioner. She showed me my blood work and everything was fucked up. Everything was fucked up. Almost all my blood work was off. And it was so bad. I'm just like, what the fuck is this? All my hormones were off, everything. And then I realized, oh my God, and then she's just like, yep, we're gonna put you on, some diabetes meds. Here you go. And that was the start of my healing journey. And it's not really healing because this is lifelong. There is no cure for any of the illnesses I have, the chronic illnesses. There's no cure for any of them. So I will live with this all my life and the rest of my life. And I had to suffer, like I said, my entire youth, my whole childhood was robbed because of these illnesses, this illness. Well, now I have multiple. When I was a kid, I probably just had one or two. So all my childhood, all my, youth, my 20s, robbed, just robbed, completely robbed. And it is frustrating. And now knowing, yes, I'm going to live the rest of my life with this. And, um, and I don't know, like I said, my mother, she had the same thing I did. I don't know if she had all of it, but she was very physically sick. And she still put men's validation over getting herself healthy. No respect for herself, no self-esteem. And that is what I grew up seeing as a little girl. The women around me that I looked up to, my aunts that raised me when I was a kid, they respected themselves. They never got married. They were single their entire lives, child-free. The women that basically raised me, the Serbian women that raised me, they were all three of them single, child-free their whole lives, never married, never had kids. Those were my influences growing up. So I'm perfectly fine living that lifestyle because that's what I grew up with. But they were they respected themselves, basically. My mother, no. Constantly putting male validation over even getting her own health issues looked into. And you think any of those guys she was with that abused her gave a fuck about her health? No, they didn't. No, they didn't. And she also put them above her, her, kids or whatever. Their validation. I mean, like that's, that's what triggers me, is seeing like these desperate women that literally will do anything for men to pick them. Like, I don't think a lot of them realize it is not a compliment if a guy picks you or chooses, I want to marry you. No, it's not. It's literally not a compliment. It's not. It's not. Like, why do you take it as that? Like, you should be saying no to that, like turning that down. Like, it is not a compliment at all. It is not. It's not. And it's just seeing that my whole life. I mean, it's just so disturbing. And those were my influences growing up, is just seeing that. And you don't know any better, really, you don't. And that becomes your influence. And you have to like break out of that mindset. Like, you have to break free from it. And somehow I did. And after all that, you guys, like, and trying to just work on my health and getting my health right, I'm always going to prioritize that. My health, my well-being, my peace, everything comes before any man. Like, ever. And they don't like that, you guys. A lot of them don't like that because they want women to put them first. They want women to put the man first and everyone else first ahead of herself. I'm never going to do that. And that's why dudes, like even non-narcissists, they really don't like me because I literally will always put myself first. Always. My health, everything, it comes first, and they don't like that. They call like women that do what I do selfish when they do it every single day. They put themselves first, but they don't get criticized because they're men. They don't get criticized by anyone. They can do anything they want, and nobody bats an eye. They can be as selfish as they want. Well, it's just how guys are. But if women are just a little bit like center themselves and their own feelings and their own life, it's just like it's stupid. But I hope more and more women wake up and just continue to prioritize themselves, their own lives, their own education, their own career. I hope they prioritize all of that shit over what society and men wants from them. I hope they stop getting duped. I hope they stop being controlled by the system that was literally designed to break them down. Like, it was literally designed to dominate and destroy them. That's what patriarchy is designed to do to women. So I hope that more and more of them wake the fuck up out of this and put themselves first. And just stop thinking that they have to somehow prove to society that they're good women because they're not selfish like those other women that, you know,